so that everybody just... That particular provision portends is central in electing a president. Since the 2010 Constitution, whoever the mountain has been president. President Uhuru Kenyatta was supported by the mountain. He became president. The same happened in 2017. In 2022, President William Ruto was another son, he became president. From where I sit, politics is a game of numbers. The mountain has moved away from William Ruto. He whatsoever, because that vote is huge. And it's even more complicated because in 2022, he got 13% went to Raila Odinga. 1.6 million people did not vote. That 87%, that 13%, that 1% that did not vote are all together against him. Whoever they'll vote for, either from the mountain or from outside the mountain, will be the next president of the Republic of. These are statistics. Okay. It's not anything that is you have a history that from 2013, 2017, 2022, William Ruto became president courtesy of the mountain vote that has now moved away from him, and all of how things will be. The 13% that the UDA candidate got is for the UDA candidate because he's a local, he's called Mushina. He has been working with the CDF office for 13 years. And he has relatives, he has friends, he has people he has seen here and there. If it was William Ruto as president, I want to tell you today, he would not have gotten 3%. And wanted to make a statement if they were on the queue. By 12 o'clock, 57%, 5,000 votes, 40,000 votes, and a suppression from midday all the way. Had there been no vote, it is my estimation that we would have had 75% voter turnout. And that would have reduced what UDA got to a single digit, 6%. So that is where we are. Okay. And that is a statement from Olokalau. And normally the mountain is homogeneous. Happen in Kiamba. What happens in Kiamba is what will happen in Madeira. What happens is what will happen in Igembe Central. Remember, UDA came in through two. One in a place called Rulie, that is Olkalau, and Kiamba.
A year before the election.
Mountain, the way, you know, we have history. A region has a way it does its politics. It has one, the mountain does not divide its vote. We only divided last year, 2022, 87-30. Kenyatta was there, he was president, he had some followers. I was there, so 87-13. But previously, it's normally a homogeneous vote. The decisions in the mountain are made through by-elections. TNA, the party of Uhuru Kenyatta, came to the stage through, and once it won that by-election, UDA came through Rulie and Kiamba. And if you look at the Kiamba win, It was close. UDA defeated Jubilee by only 500 votes. I was in charge of that campaign. And by the way, Rogers, I'm an expert in by-elections. I've never lost a by-election. I'm campaigner.
You've lost by extension.
No. Let me explain.
Hii siasa Sisi ndio mafundi wa hii kitu. Hii siasa tunajua kuitengeneza siasa vizuri. Hapa mbele si sasa kiwanja itakuwa wazi. Tutakutana kwa kiwanja. Yes. Ama na gani? Yes, tutakutana kwa kiwanja hapa.
All right, regarding Gachagua, a lot has been said. I'll give you a right of reply.
Well, when Professor Kidiki said those words, my answer was very quick. I told him the Honorable Kiarao had not been buried. I told him because of staying with William Ruto, he seems to have forgotten our traditions and our culture. You don't discuss inheriting a man who has not been buried. And I knew he had already started on a bad footing. I also sent him a text and told him, if he gets time, to read a book by Wallace Soyinka that says a tiger does not proclaim its tigrishood, it pounces. He said, atatunyorosha, tutaheshimiana is true. Tumeheshimiana. I mean, it's there. He never even went there to Olkalau. And I didn't go either. I left it to my young boys there to deal with that by-election. He was full of bravado. He was breathing fire, saying, tutanyorosha huyo mwanaume ataniona, ikimalizika tutaheshimiana. I said, yes. But I told him, a tiger does not proclaim its tigrishood, it pounces. Of course, he's very embarrassed because he talks with a lot of bravado. But it's okay. I've heard the President William Ruto says, yeah, ni food yes. Sisi ni engineer. And we shall allocate him work as a fundi. You know engineers design, yeah? Engineers design and supervise construction. Yeye ni mtu ya kufanya. William Ruto today, if you ask him, before we parted, I had a very long sitting with him for 4 hours outside State House. We sat, the two of us. And I was convinced that he was overrated. When I listened to him, I believed he was overrated. And I did give him political advice. Because he had started betraying the mountain, deceiving the mountain, and persecuting the mountain. And I did advise him as his deputy. I told him, Mr. President, I'm your advisor. I helped you to be president. We have come a long journey. I can see the route you are going. And the consequences will be very disastrous politically. I say the people of the mountain hate betrayal and they hate deception. And if you betray the people of the mountain, they will abandon you and they'll fight you. Please don't. He argued with me. I told him, you yourself, William Ruto, you are a beneficiary of the mountain's district for betrayal. When the mountain perceived that President Uhuru Kenyatta had betrayed you, they punished Uhuru Kenyatta and made you president, just to show that they don't like betrayal. And you are not one of them. Please, don't betray the mountain. You will regret. He told me, I have 35 years experience. You are one-term MP. I had him repeat that the same day. You can teach me nothing about politics. I told him it is true. I don't know much as you do. But about matters the mountain, I know more than you do. I told him, you are a builder, and I see you building a lot. You like building. If you have a house you have built, along the way you get more money and you decide to modify it, you go ahead. If you find you made a few errors, it doesn't have enough light, you do. You can change the roof, you can change the windows, you can change the doors, you can change the tiles, you can change the ceiling, you can change the wardrobe. That you can do.
Okay.
But unless you are through with that house, you don't touch the foundation of your house. Because if you touch the foundation, you have lost it. I told him, the foundation of your government is a mountain. Don't touch the foundation of your government. If you do, you will lose the government, and you'll be the first president in the world to destabilize his own government. And I told him, if you touch the foundation of your government, you will not have peace until the general election. I went further to tell him, if you touch the foundation of your government, the mountain, you'll be a one-term president. What happened in Olokalao is exactly what I told him. President William Ruto took projects in Olokalao for 14.5 billion. 14.5 billion. He took a train, he took 2 boats, he took transformers, he graded roads, he took shoes, he took mattresses, he took gas cylinders. He did everything you can ever do for a society, until the neighboring constituencies started asking God whether he could take their members of parliament so that they can also get goodies. He spent 1.2 billion Kenya shillings in cash. But the people said no, because he betrayed the mountain. And the people of the mountain hate betrayal. And betrayal in the mountain has no remedy. Once you betray the people, it's over. Again, on top of betrayal, he started persecuting the mountain. He started sending goons and police to attack churches. The people of the mountain are Christians. And in fact, why he gained favor with them is because they are basically Christians. He was in church every Sunday. And he warmed himself in their hearts as a Christian. Church every Sunday with the Bible. He would sing our songs. He would talk Kikuyu. And people said, for the first time, the Church of Christ has a candidate. They elected him because of his connection with the church.
Okay.
The day he sent goons and police to attack PCA Mweki Church, the day he sent goons and police to attack PCA Kariobangi, the day he sent Nairobi Sierra Squad, headed by Madira Member of Parliament Eric Wamombi and his wife Betty Maina, to kill people inside church, that is the day, whatever little chance there was that he could recover after betraying the mountain, that was it. And then, of course, thereafter, with Moses Kuria and Kimani Ichung'wa, anytime there is a problem, he would send goons to destroy businesses belonging to the people of Mount Kenya. And they took it very badly, because the people of Mount Kenya are basically business people, and they are very protective of their wealth and their businesses. When William Ruto decided to persecute the mountain, and anytime there was a crisis in the country, he would take advantage to punish the mountaineers and destroy their businesses. That was it. And again, finally, deceiving people. You know, these mountain people are business people. When he came with the bottom-up economic agenda, telling people, I can lift you from the bottom of the pyramid to up. I can help you when you had a kiosk to own a supermarket. The whole philosophy was very attractive to the mountain people, because basically that's who they are. They are people who like to rise from nothing to something.
Okay.
So when he came with that agenda, it was very attractive. Only for people to realize it was a con, it was deception. There was nothing like that. He said he would put people money in the pocket. The little they had, he took it away through taxation. So this all Kalau is just a culmination. They're actually sending a message to him. Let me tell you, this decision was made a long time ago, in 2024. But it's been getting worse, especially when he attacked the churches. It got very bad. When he attacked businesses, it got very bad. And of course, adding insult to injury, when he started abusing the community and saying it is tribal, despite the fact that they voted for him when he was not one of their own. They defied President Uhuru Kenyatta, their own son, and voted for him. And when he realized there is resistance for the mountain, he went on top of the car in Nyanza, elsewhere, saying these people are very tribal. That was an insult to a community that has a lot of pride, a community that believes in itself, that felt that it They made him president, they assisted him. He not only betrayed them, deceived them, persecuted them, turned against them, but he's also abusing them as a community. So all Kalau, despite spending almost 16 billion in one single constituency, I can tell you, Kalau, my brother Rogers, there were 7 cabinet secretaries, 16 principal secretaries, 42 chief executive officers of prostitutes, 91 members of parliament, 2,000 police officers, cash, 1.2 billion shillings in cash, projects worth more than 14.5 billion. But those people had a message for William Ruto. Yeah? We are through with you because you betrayed us, you deceived us, you have turned against us, you have persecuted us, you have attacked our churches, you have set goons against us, you have made life unbearable for us. On top of that, every weekend when you are out there, except when you are at the mountain, you are abusing a community that made you president. Okay,
back to perhaps the symbolism of this win. The others who are watering it down, I've mentioned one of the instances that has been mentioned. You've only won 1 parliamentary seat out of the 10 that were contested in by-elections. And Mbere North through the Democratic Party. Perhaps, how would you build momentum from this one win to replicate it across the 10 counties? And equally, when you hear people saying that it was a battle between the defenders, Jubilee Party, and the DCP, it had nothing to do with UDA. How do you respond to them?
Those are sour grapes. One, if it was a battle between Jubilee and DCP, what was the government doing in Olokalau with 16 billion shillings? What were they doing there? If what Aden Duale is saying, Aden Duale is just a noisemaker. He's a fellow who did not even give President William Ruto 7,000 votes. He is cabinet secretary, courtesy of the mountain people. He should not abuse the mountain people. When yesterday he was in Mandera, he said Kikuyus are hyenas, and we have asked people to go to NCIC and report him. Aden Duale is cabinet secretary, courtesy of the votes the mountain people gave to William Ruto. At every opportunity, he abuses the Kikuyu nation. Saying that it was a contest between Jubilee and DCP is thinking Kenyans are stupid. I mean, if UDA was not part of the process, why were they giving boats? Why were they bringing a train? Why were they giving a mattress to every household? Why were they giving gas cylinders? Why were they bribing people? Why did they bring goons to kill people? Why did they bring rogue police officers to kill people? Duale should respect the people of Kenya. Number 2, my friend, it is not one win we are celebrating. You are not getting it. It is a significance. 1, there are 6 issues in this election. Why we are celebrating and why we must continue celebrating. 1, the people of Olokalau, on behalf of the people of Kenya, have proven to the country that William Ruto's dirty money mean nothing. That you can come with billions and bribe people to be elected. That is not possible. People of Kenya know now that the billions William Ruto has stolen cannot bribe the people of Kenya to vote for you. That's why we are celebrating, because money is bad. And people are fearful that this man has stolen too much. He can use it to bribe pure people to give him back the presidency. The fact that the people of Olokalau have been bribed with 1.2 billion shillings and they have refused to vote for his candidate is a confirmation that his dirty money means nothing in this country. Number 2, why we are celebrating is that William Ruto can no longer deceive the people of Kenya. He has been unmasked. He came with the Bible and deceived Christians, pretending to be holy, pretending he is very prayerful, pretending he is saved. Nobody saw through him. He came with the bottom-up economic transformation agenda.
Okay.
It was a lie.
You
now,
mentioned that, yes.
This deception, the deception in Olokalau was bring a trade, bring boats, bring transform us, bring roads, and cheat the people that you are working for them. The people asked, why are you not doing it in the neighboring Kipipiri constituency? Why are you not doing it in Kinangop? Why are you not doing it in Oljororok? The people saw through deception.
Okay.
So one of the greatest issue we are celebrating is that the people of Kenya now have the capacity to see through William Ruto and how deceptive he is. So that we are celebrating.
Allow me to cut you short, because at the end of the day, I have to bring in what happened in Mbeere North.
No, allow me, because you have asked the significance why we are celebrating.
Yes.
Just allow me to give you why.
Okay.
It's not just a win, it's a win for the country. Number 3, people have been fearing that William Ruto can steal an election. And Kenyans have been asking us, you people, one-term people, will vote for you. What will you do to stop William Ruto from stealing the election? Kenyans have been very scared. In Olkalau, the people of Olkalau have shown that you cannot steal an election. The people who are there defended the election to the end. They tried to bring in stuffed ballot papers through police. They were stopped by the people. They tried to bring people pretending to be illiterate so that they can mark for them. The people say no. So it's a great victory that Kenyans will go and vote and protect the vote. That is a great victory. That is one of the things that we are really celebrating, you know?
Yeah.
And it's important. Number 3, we are celebrating that Kenyans cannot be intimidated by goons and police. There were 2,000 police officers, 4 platoons of the General Service Unit, 4 platoons of the Anti-Stock Theft Unit, 4 water cannons, hooded police goons with the AK-47 assault rifle and M16 automatic rifle, intimidating the people of Olkalau to stop voting, and the people said no. They stayed in the polling station. They were searching police vehicles. They stopped the police from entering polling stations to steal the election, to interfere with the counting. They barricaded polling stations with rocks and logs and actually stopped the police and government from stealing an election. That is why we are in a celebratory mood. And this celebration must go on because Kenyans were fearful. Today, Kenyans are calling me from all over. Can we come to Olkalau and benchmark on how to protect the vote? Voting is not enough. That's what Kenyans are saying. We have known from Olkalau that voting is not enough. And then now you can ask, I'll tell you now about Bere. You can ask me about Bere. Now I have the answer for you after what I've explained to you. So we are not, William Ruto should know, we are not celebrating one win. We are celebrating the realization that you cannot steal an election in this country. We are celebrating the realization that police cannot intimidate voters. We are celebrating a realization that Ruto's dirty money means nothing in this country. We are celebrating the realization that he cannot deceive people. nobody will be allowed to take a photograph of the ballot because of the secrecy, the sanctity of the ballot. That was all. Kept away myself. We denied them an opportunity to cause violence, to postpone the general election. My message to the people of Kenya is that voting is not enough. You vote and protect the vote. We now have a template to share with the rest of the country on how to protect the vote, because it has been done successfully when there were plans and real intention. Very practical program. All those police goons you saw there, commando style, shooting like in a movie.
We'll get to that in a few.
Yes. Yeah, they had come actually to steal this election. The sheer will of the Kenyan voter, I am so amazed. And that's why I'm in celebration. The resilience of the Kenyan voter, the sheer bravado to protect their democratic right is a very long time.
And I hope this was done within the law, because once you vote, you're supposed to be
outside the polling station.
No police was manhandled.
Nobody was all the IBC officials, the POs, the deputy POs, the clerk, the turning offs are perfect. Our issue is the commissioners.
Let's talk about it. Would be a litmus test for the commission. Kenyans come out to protect the vote, perhaps due to that deficit of trust. So as and credible
they cannot deliver free and fair election. Kenyans will have to come in. The IBC failed to protect the Zakaria Gakunya Mukora from Huhoine, Rodi Ward. Said my deepest condolences to the and friends. I'll be going tomorrow to Olkalau to bury these two. The community, I have said the families should not put a shilling on the dignity of the community. IBC up to today has not condemned these two deaths. The voter suppression that was done by comment to Olkalau, IBC has not condemned. There was violence for 6 hours. by these rogue police officers. Up to now, IBC has not condemned it. There was wanton bribery for 3. IBC never condemned this bribery, never took action against cabinet. The IB commissioners are on the side of William Ruto. But the beauty of it is that the election officials, they conducted a very free and suppression. Many people from 1,000 were denied the right to vote because of violence by police who are armed and hooded. The IBC did not do their job to make sure they have made sufficient security arrangements. The other way around, as rogue police officers from Sierra Squad and others terrorize the people of Olkalau, the county commissioner of Nyandarua, tear gas police officers who are in uniform, and made hell. Descendants and remnants of Mau Mau. This election would have been stolen. I can tell you, I can tell you that the only conducted and a winner announced. Despite the voter suppression, 20,000 people were denied an opportunity to vote. The only reason why this election took place was the people of Olkalau, men and women and young people, are remnants and descendants of the Mau Mau. And they had tear gas. The members of took pangas, they took axes. And but I'm asking, it's a recipe for disaster because the violence in Olkalau was not among the people of Olkalau fighting each other. It was state-sponsored.
And I know the right to self-defense is okay, but
the right to, you know, people, where we have reached, and that's why I'm saying, I want to tell William Ruto and Kipchumba Murkomen, they are preparing this country for anarchy. When policemen who are paid by taxpayers, who are having guns bought by public money, who are having tear gas bought by public money, descend upon innocent voters, beat them and kill them, and rape women, policemen who are employed by the public, who are paid by the public. William Ruto and Kipchumba Murkomen are setting the stage for anarchy in this country. Because if people decide, the way the people of Olkalau decided, that nobody will steal your vote, we have what you call the state of nature. Anarchy, where people take the law into their own hands. And what is very sad, Rogers, up to now, 7 days, nobody has been arrested. 2 people are dead. We are burying them tomorrow. Kipchumba Murkomen asked me for evidence. He can come and see the caskets. If he wants us to open to confirm their dead bodies, we will. He was asking why we are saying women have been raped, why they have not gone to police. How do women who have been raped, how do girls who have been defiled by police go to police to report police? And you don't bother. Okay. What they have done, they have gone to private hospitals, they have been treated and gone home. Because how do you report police to police? As we speak today, there is evidence that the vehicles that brought the armed goons belong to the Kiambaa Member of Parliament, John Kawanjiku. Today he has not been arrested. The policemen who caused mayhem in Olkalau, some senior police officers have called me, and they are very disgusted that the National Police Service have been transformed into a criminal gang by the CS called Kipchumba Murkomen. And they are frustrated. They are frustrated because when they went to Kiganjo, when they went to Embakasi, they were trained to protect Kenyans. Yeah. They were never trained to attack Kenyans. But Murkomen has transformed the National police service into a militia. As we speak, because these officers who have been attacking people, they are the ones who attacked the church in Wetima, ACK. I took the evidence to the IG, their photographs and their names and videos. Instead of being prosecuted or promoted and given more responsibilities and given more sophisticated weapons, they were deployed in Olokalau. The photographs are there, the videos are there. Now that they have been exposed, instead of being arrested and prosecuted, very senior police officers have called me. They have actually been transferred. One minor who is bodyguard to Bete Minor has been taken to Kilifi. One Malonga has been taken to Bomet. One Kyoko has been taken to Maba Police. One Murangeri has been taken to Turkana. One Meguna has been taken to Kwale. The senior police officers are asking, this is our country. How did we reach here? That the police who are supposed to protect the people of Kenya, the police who are paid by the public to protect them, the arms that they carry have been bought through taxpayers' money to protect the people of Kenya. Murkomen has created a militia within the National Police Service to harm the people of Kenya. As we speak, 2 people are dead. Not a statement from the National Police Service about these 2 deaths. Women have been raped. These people created mayhem. They had 4 platoons of GSU. They had 4 platoons of ASTU. They had 1,000 uniformed police officers, but they were helpless because this criminal gang had been sent there by Murkomen to cause mayhem. The police are saying, please, remove this government from power next year. In fact, most of the information that I have is from the police. They are embarrassed. They are asking, how come we were trained to protect the people of Kenya? We are paid to protect the people of Kenya. How can it be Murkomen has deployed us to hurt Kenyans, to kill Kenyans, to rape women, to maim innocent people, to disrupt the election? Now these people have been transferred. And they have only been transferred because they have been exposed. I am told as we speak, Murkomen has picked a new squad. It has been taken to a training base in Moyale to come and take over from what this group was doing. So what we saw in Olokala, we have seen nothing. We have not seen the last of it. And I can tell you from where I sit, if Kipchumba Murkomen will be the CS Interior as we go towards the election, there will be civil war in this country. There will be anarchy. Because now people know. You see, why people defended Olokalau, they saw it in Bere. What people have seen on Olokalau, Rogers, you want to tell me there are Kenyans who are going to wait and expect William Ruto to steal the election? And you know this was an election of one candidate. There will be presidential candidates. There will be people defending the votes of Gachagua. There will be people defending the votes of the governor. There will be people defending the votes of the senator. There will be people defending the votes of the member of the National Assembly. There will be people defending the MC. And there are multiple candidates. We have 50, 60 aspirants in candidates in one polling station. All of them will mobilize to protect their vote from Ruto, Murkomen, and goons.
And I'd like us to hear...
They'll arm themselves. Let me tell you, when police come armed with the guns, do you expect Wananchi to go and face them with the bare hands? Because we are saying the right to self-defense is there in our laws. And because William Ruto has made and coordination of state terror, the people of Kenya will get prepared.
And I think the logical question would be how to avoid such a scenario.
How to avoid such scenario?
Hold on, briefly, because I'd like us to hear from lastly mentioned, President William Ruto directed security agencies to intensify operations against goons and organized criminal groups across Kenya. Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen, I think it was just this Sunday, said DCI is into those armed, masked individuals. Just listen and then we'll get the right of reply, briefly.
Every sector of society, the business leaders, religious leaders, political leaders, have all agreed that having lawlessness goons and all these other characters, criminals, should be stopped. Now that we have a consensus, our security agencies must do their job. Within the law, they must do their job and they must stop criminality.
Kulikuwa na watu walionekana huko Olkalau, walikuwa wanaleta vurugu, walikuwa nani? Mimi nataka nitangaze kwa taifa ya kwamba DCI wa taifa la Kenya, Director of Criminal Investigations, tayari amefungua faili ya uchunguzi kujua kwamba ni watu hawa ni wagani, walifanya makosa gani, na waliumiza watu gani, na kwa nini walikuwa pale, ili wachukuliwe hatua ya sheria. Mwisho watakapomaliza, ule DPP atapelekewa file na hawa watachukuliwa hatua ya kisheria. Mimi nataka kuwaomba Wakenya, kuliko tu kusema kwa mdomo, mtu yoyote mwenye ako na habari aende kwa DCI office karibu, apeane habari hiyo.
Okay, so using goonism, rogue police officers as a response to political competition, will it stop after the president's marching orders? Is there goodwill to deal with this issue before we slide into anarchy?
It will not stop because William Ruto is being deceptive. The challenge of Kenya is not goons. It's rogue police officers under Murkomen. The way to stop lawlessness is to sack Murkomen because he is a cause. These are police officers who are there. They are under him. So he is asking us to give him what information. Instead of arresting them, the way as well. So you are just transferring a problem.
So NPS is not independent.
In the prosecution of 12 police officers, 2 members of minor, William Ruto stopped that prosecution. He is actually the problem. John Jogona Kawanjiko is an ally of President William Ruto. All those police killer squads that were in Olkalau, all of them, one group was Ada Charles Karondo, the chairman of Communications Authority, who wants to oppose Dede Nyoro in Kiharu. The other one was Ada Dennis Itumbe. The other group was Ada Betty Maina and Eric Wamombi. These officers are known by name. Their photographs are there. The videos are there. So Murkomen is asking people to report what? When William says that it has been agreed we stop lawlessness, he is a problem because the man he has appointed as CS Interior is the one who fed these goons. He is the one who was funding the police officers in Olkalau. They were staying in a hotel called Royal Garden. He is the one who was paying the bills. They had Prados. State of the art. You saw the Prados.
We've documented them.
Yes, they are documented.
Yes.
So these 2 men, William Ruto and Kipchumba Murkomen, thinks Kenyans are fools. You know the way William Ruto deceived the people of Kenya in 2022? He still thinks Kenyans are there. He used to say that there is a shortage of fools in the country. I want to remind him, there are no fools in this country. The problem of insecurity in this country is being caused by government itself. And even goons have become very embodied because they work hand in hand with the police. In Olkalau, we had police goons who had arms, and we had the ordinary goons. The ordinary goons were being protected by the police, and they were all working together. The only problem that is there, and William Ruto must know, and Murkomen, when you grow criminal gangs, like in Haiti, because these goons you brought in Olkalau for the by-election, now that it is over, you paid them for those days, they must continue eating. That is why you saw goons stop vehicles on Thika Road for 2 hours and steal from people valuables, because they have been working with the police, so they are embodied. And can you imagine, Rogers, where these goons attacked motorists on Thika Road?
Police station.
Pangani police station is 100 meters. Muthaiga police station is 80 meters. For 2 hours, they terrorized motorists and the people of Kenya, and there was no police response. In Wetima, where we were attacked, we were rogue police officers for 2 hours, and police did not come. The other day, some investors were there at Carnival. They were attacked by goons. Their jewelry was stolen. Their watches were stolen. They lost their money and their phones. Police did not even show up. So when William say that they must bring an end to this goonism, the only way we can believe them, one, they must arrest the people who attacked Mweki PCA Church, take them to court. They must arrest them to court. They must arrest the police officers and the 2 members of parliament who attacked Wetima, take them to court. They must arrest the members of parliament who are in Olkalao, Dennis Itumbe, Charles Karondo, the police officers and the goons, because Mukome knows them. He is the one who paid them. He is the one who organized it. So telling us about DCI, that DCI is a joke. I have seen a letter when Albert Ojwang died in Central Police Station. DCI saying that he knocked his head against the wall. You have seen the CCTV footage. He was killed by policemen. Does this DCI have any credibility? Can anybody depend on the DCI in this country to investigate anything? In Olkalao, the DCI himself called the local DCI commanders and told them to keep off and allow these rogue police officers sent by Murkomen to do what they want to do. Even the county commissioner himself was tear-gassed by these police officers. So the problem is William Ruto, Kipchumba Murkomen, Raymond Omolo, and DCI Amin. They are all partners in crime. And they cannot pretend that now there is a problem of goonism. The issue is not even goonism. It's police goons and police working with the goons to terrorize the people of Kenya. That's why I'm saying, as I wind up, if this Kipchumba Murkomen will be the CS Interior, if Raymond Omolo will be the PS Interior, he's the one who has been organizing goons in Kisumu and Kakamega. They have divided. Kipchumba Murkomen is in charge of goons for Nairobi and the mountain, where they are having resistance. These goons are sent to areas where William Ruto is being resisted. Raymond Omolo has goons to deal with Nyanza and Western to deal with leader Mwananchi Sifuna and group. And the goons in Nairobi and the mountain, they are supposed to deal with Gachagua and DCP. If this Murkomen is the one who will be in office, there will be anarchy in this country. Because what will happen, Rogers, and rightly so, people will not accept a stolen election. People will not allow William Ruto to come back to power through fraud and through an election. The people of Kenya will say no to intimidation. They will say no to goonism. They will say no to police brutality. And the people of Olkalao have shown that a determined population can withstand police with guns, with grenades, and that is what will happen. So it's upon William Ruto. The remaining time, he can do nothing about the economy. The economy has gone to the dogs. The education sector has crumbled. The health sector has crumbled. Nothing is working in the country. One thing he can do for the people of Kenya, because they made him president, much as they are through with him and they want him to be one term and he'll be one term, there is one thing he can do to this country. Secure this country. I heard him today complaining about Khartoum. Oh, Khartoum was a very good town, now it's in ruins. That's the route you are driving your country. How can he talk about Khartoum, that it is in ruins? He is setting the stage for Khartoum. Because, Rogers, once people lose trust in the National Police Service, the men and women entrusted to protect them, once people lose trust in the capacity of government to protect them, once people conclude that the government is the one killing them, the government is the one persecuting them, people will take up arms and defend themselves.
Because you know, it is such a scenario, Mr. Gachagua.
But it's not me. It's not me.
True,
the honors is on William Ruto, because when he became president, I was there with him. He took the Bible and swore to uphold the Constitution. He swore to defend life and property. But he has decided to kill Kenyans. He has decided to injure Kenyans. He has decided to fight the very people who elected him, especially the people of Olokalao, the people of this mountain. They are actually very bitter because they are very bitter because they elected him. They elected him to protect them. They elected him to bring prosperity. They elected him to bring sanity in their lives. They elected him to make the economy better. But they feel so betrayed. They are so bitter. They are so angry that instead of protecting them, he has actually decided to harm them, to kill them, to make life impossible for them, to touch their property, to send policemen with guns to kill them. Why on earth would a policeman on duty be hooded? Because they don't want people to know them. Why would a policeman go with an unmarked car? And we are asking, Murkomen thinks Kenyans are very stupid. He is saying that we need to know who are those people, what were they doing there. There were 2,000 policemen. There was 4 platoons of GSU. There was 4 platoons of unstock theft unit. If it was no more crime, they would have stopped it. But they did stop it because they had instructions to let those police goons do what they had come to do.
Okay, your point is across, and you've been on record previously mentioning about, is it 101 trained police officers?
Yes.
Is this the same unit?
No, the 101 police officers was trained specifically for abductions and extrajudicial killings. They are the ones who abducted and killed the agencies. And they were all from the administration police, trained to kill, to abduct, and to conceal. And that is a group by Murkomen. That is a special group by Murkomen to deal with the politics. Murkomen brief by William Ruto is to make sure he is re-elected through goonism and violence, and to suppress anybody who has a different opinion and who does not support William Ruto.
What does that say about the National Police Service? Who's the puppeteer? Because it seems it's been captured.
The IG,
it's supposed to be independent.
Is a flower girl. He's very frustrated. He told a friend of mine that he could even resign because he does not know what goes on in the National Police Service. He deployed people, and he did a good thing. But I warned him. I said, I don't think you know the instructions. 2 inside and 14 outside. He did his job. He deployed GSU just in case there is problem. He deployed ASTU just in case there is problem. He brought water cannons. But Murkomen sent another group that overpowered what IG had deployed. And they were told not to interfere with the activities. He's a very helpless man. He's a man from my village. And I have told him to consider resigning because he will be the most disgraced head of police since independence. That the police he heads has become a goon police. Goons are part of the National Police Service. They go in the same vehicles. He is the head of police that attacks citizens. I mean, it must be a very painful thing to Douglas if he has any conscience, that the people that this man, he will do what I want because he didn't have papers. It was even challenged. Then the president organized for him to get some fake papers. Douglas Kanja has a fake degree, so the president holds him hostage. And I think what is happening is that the president will want to keep Douglas Kanja up to the election so that Murkomen can do whatever he wants within the National Police Service, and then Kanja can be blamed. That is exactly what is happening.
Okay.
You know? And Kanja is helpless because I don't think if he resigns, the president will go for him. I think you just have to stay there, allow Murkomen and Omolo do crazy things within the National Police Service, kill Kenyans, injure them, try to steal the election, and then the blame is taken to IG Kaja when things are behind his back. In fact, Murkomen works with his tribesmen. He's called Lagat. You know, evidence is now being given that it is DIG Lagat who ordered that man to be tortured.
Well, it's a case before the
going
courts.
on. No, but
yeah, so sub judice. I know you know.
But
this
it's going on.
Yes, yes.
You know this is public information.
True.
It's actually crisis in the National Police Service. Is that Kipchumba Murkomen is running the National Police Service through Lagat outside the command of the IG. But the IG, because he is held by William Ruto because he has a fake degree, he cannot talk, he cannot say anything. He's a man in agony. Okay. He's a man in agony.
Regarding Gachagua, hasn't verified those claims. But as we continue, there's an attempt to are done in the country. I'm sure you reports KNCHR, the Attorney General's office, developing a bill that is seeking to regulate peaceful demonstrations following that Kisumu court landmark ruling that tasked government to develop, publish clear legal operational regulations governing public assemblies. Are we over-legislating despite the problem being police and non-compliance to the rule of law?
All those things will be thrown out by the court because they go against the Bill of Rights. You know, any legislation that is inconsistent with the Constitution is null and void to the extent of that inconsistency. The 2010 Constitution has the best Bill of Rights, and the right to picket is there in the Constitution. There is no way we can suppress the right to picket. In fact, we don't have a problem. You know, I heard the president saying, oh, the problem, people are arrested, they are released by the courts. The people who attacked Wetima have not been arrested and taken to court. So, Mr. President, what are you complaining about? The people who attacked me in Lemuru, they have never been arrested. The people who attacked Sifuna in Kakamega, in Kisumu, they have not been arrested. I don't think the issue is the courts. The issue is the infiltration of the National Police Service by William Ruto and Kipchumba Murkomen to quell dissent and to suppress freedoms and to kill democracy. I think that is our challenge. Our challenge is that William Ruto has decided to use the criminal justice system to deal with his opponents, to make sure that they have no space, and to force what he wants to the people of Kenya using the National Police Service. But when I listened to the police this afternoon, I'm a very happy Kenyan. The police have told me they will not bugger the election, and they will not take illegal orders. They will do what is right. The beauty about a general election, Rogers, it's not like a by-election. You know, by-election, you can send 2,000 police officers to one station. You can send a wrong police unit. We have more than 50,000 polling stations in Kenya. Each polling center needs 2 policemen. They are not enough. You have to add the prisons. You have to add. There will be no policemen to cause chaos in the general election. Even goons will be in their home, voting and defending whoever has paid them. Every goon will go to his place. There will be no. You know why Olukalau was stifled? It was the only election. All goons from the country were taken to Olukalau. All wrong police officers were in Olukalau. All members of Parliament were in Olukalau. But during the general election, Betty Minor, who has been causing chaos in the region, will be struggling to be re-elected in Murang'a. She will be fighting for her life. Eric Wamumbi will be in Madera. Kimani Ichung'wah will be in Kikuyu. Kila mtu atakuwa kwao. William Ruto will be struggling to see how he can be re-elected. He will not be available to assist anybody. All these ministers and PSs were in Olukalau. Kila mtu atakuwa kwao. What I'm happy about, officers who are in uniform were very professional. The county commissioner, the regional commissioner, they were very professional. In fact, most of those officers were really irritated that policemen are attacking Kenyans they are attacking voters. So my own comfort as a Kenyan, when I talk to the police, 95% of the National Police Service will observe the rule of law. 95% of the senior commanders will give the right instructions. 95% of the National Police Service, the rank and file, will disobey illegal orders. I can tell you. And since William Ruto will be going home, and you know these policemen also live in this country, you know it's not that they are strangers, they are also listening to the ground because they stay there in the police post, they stay there in the police station. They also know, the police are telling us, they also know there will be change. So I don't think on the last day of Ruto's presidency, any police officer who is aware of what the ground is saying will agree to suppress the will of the people, will agree to take illegal orders to try to preserve a president whose fate has been decided by the voters. To me, when I saw the clerks are good, when I saw the POs are good, when I saw the returning officer is good, when now I have reason to believe the policemen will keep law and order, I trust we'll have a good election, and any attempt by William Ruto to cause violence will be resisted by the people of Kenya. Any attempt by William Ruto and his people to try to steal the election will be resisted by the people of Kenya. I'm so persuaded.
Gachagua, now that you've told us that police is not beyond reproach, your critics say that perhaps it's now that the shoe is on the other foot that you're calling them out. They'll take you back to photos you used to post during the late Raila Odinga-led demonstrations right after the general election. And I'm pretty sure you remember the captions to ensure that peace and tranquility is of utmost importance even while these protests were happening. Lives were lost during that particular protest. Did you use the police service personally?
No, we never sent police goons to attack the people of Kenya. The police were there fighting with the demonstrators, but there were no policemen sent specifically to fight the people of Kenya. You know, as far as I know.
So
you know,
who were they fighting, if not the police? Because lives were lost, sir.
Well,
in the police brutality.
In demonstrations, lives were lost, and it's very regrettable. And you are aware, probably you know, that one of the things that made me and William Ruto differ was the killing of the Gen Zs. If you remember, during the 25th protests when Gen Zs were killed, and William Ruto issued a press conference and called them criminals and treasoners. The following day I called a press conference. I say they are not criminals, they are our sons and daughters. My record is clean in matters human rights, in matters the rule of law. I have been, you know, I was a security officer myself. I'm a trained paramilitary officer. I have served in the security sector the better part of my younger life, and I really believe in the rule of law. That's why I'm very irritated and actually very, very offended that people trained to protect life and property can take away life.
Gachagua, we have 1 minute.
Yeah.
We have to talk about this issue of goonism, because at the end of the day, there are those rogue police officers, but we have disenfranchised youth who have been excluded from decision-making tables and hence are taken advantage by politicians to cause mayhem or to attack their competitors. At the end of the day, how do we deal with goonism with finality from where you sit?
Let me say that goonism in itself is not a very serious challenge. No goons can sustain attacks on people because people will say no. Why goons have become a problem in this country is because they are working hand in hand with the police. So they give them cover so that when the goons are overpowered by Wananchi, the police open fire. You know? I went to Gatundu for a church, and Moses Kuria sent goons to attack me. They were dealt with by the people, but police came to rescue them. So it makes the goons to become very embodied. You know, if police decided there is no goonism, even if politicians hire goons, it will be very short-lived because it will not be allowed. I don't think Wananchi will allow goons to create mayhem, because people will defend themselves. And goons who are not armed with the guns cannot be a threat to people for a long time. So if the police decided, if the president decided today to abandon goonism, to remove Murkomen from office and get somebody sober, and if he really wants his tribesmen, he has many people who are good, people with proven track record, people of good credibility, and people who have served this country with distinction, among the Nandis, among the Psigis, among the Marakwets, among the Tugans. You know, if he wants another Marakwet like Murkomen, they are there, and we know them. Once if the president makes the decision, because the buck stops with him. Murkomen, all these things doing, he cannot do it without William Ruto. Because William Ruto can see there is a problem. When people are shooting on top of a Prado, like in a movie, it was like a movie. Even Ruto has seen those videos, you know, and there is no war, and the people are not armed. These are innocent voters. And then police with rifles on top of Prados, moving at a terrific speed, shooting everywhere. And William Ruto is trying to pretend that there is no problem.
Okay.
You know, he's pretending there is no problem, saying that the problem is courts. Oh, when people are arrested, but nobody has been arrested. All these people who caused this mayhem on Okalao, they are still free. In Wetima, they are still free. So what we are saying is, the first step to deal with goonism is to rein in Kipchumba Murkomen and Raymond Omolo. The second step is William Ruto to allow the National Police Service to operate independently and return the command to the IG and ask him to follow the Constitution, to follow the police, the police orders, and to follow the Penal Code, the Criminal Procedure Code, the Evidence Act, the three documents that guide the police operations. If William Ruto today decided, but the buck stops with him, by the way. It's all about William Ruto. Even this Murkomen, it's not him. He is just an appendage of William Ruto. William Ruto is using him. The decision to end goonism, and it's not by issuing a statement in State House. That was the fifth statement in 1 year. He has said, oh, goons must be dealt with. They continue. Oh, goons must be. And everybody knows, in fact, the police are saying he is a problem because he is. The senior police officers are saying, can we get back the command of the National Police Service to the Inspector General?
And if that happens, we'll be able to fight. Yes. Which rarely happens.
Yeah, it will be done.
Okay.
Allow us to take a short break. Like Murkomen has been trying to say that we are the ones who have the goons. We would have been arrested a long time ago if these goons were from the opposition. We would be in prison.
So you don't have goons?
I cannot have, because if I had, they would be in prison. Why the goons are there is because of government. That is why nobody can touch them. That is why nobody can arrest them.
We have the bills to pay. Top of the hour news is coming up next. But this conversation is getting started, as they say. A lot more to talk about in terms of all. And perhaps, what's the way forward for the united opposition? He's been in a 45-day, 36th day. Is there white smoke? But equally, what's their agenda? Remove Ruto, what next?
Police and goons do not overrun the polling station. In every medium polling station, we had 300 young men to make sure police do not overrun the station. Polling station, we had 200 men. We were able to stop the police and government from overrunning the polling station to staff. So what I'm saying, we lost Mbere because we did not know what Ruto had put in place. So in Olokalao, we corrected all that was wrong in Mbere, in Malava, in Murwa Dikir. We had an opportunity because we participated in those elections. And that's what I'm saying now. My message to the people of Kenya: William Ruto will not steal the general election. We have perfected voter protection in Olokalao, and we are asking everybody to come to Olokalao to benchmark. I am willing to set up teams from Olokalao, as many as 40, 50 teams, where we are requested. They go and educate our other Kenyans on how to protect the vote. William Ruto was hell-bent to steal this vote. In fact, at one time, when they realized that they are losing the vote, they connived with the chairman of IBC, Mr. Ethekon, who threatened to cancel the election if there is violence. And because there was no violence of any meaningful magnitude, government planned that weekend to cause violence so that Ethekon can postpone the election. We were too smart for them. We avoided all meetings. I told Governor Irogo Kangata not to go to Olkalau. I kept away myself. We denied them an opportunity to cause violence to postpone the general election. My message to the people of Kenya is that voting is not enough. You vote and protect the vote. We now have a template to share with the rest of the country on how to protect the vote, because it has been done successfully when there were plans and real intention. Very practical program. All those police goons you saw there, commando style, shooting like in a movie.
We'll get to that in a few. Yes.
Yeah, they had come actually to steal this election. The sheer will of the Kenyan voter, I am so amazed. And that's why I'm in celebration. The resilience of the Kenyan voter, the sheer bravado to protect their democratic right is a very long time.
And I hope this was done within the law, because once you vote, you're supposed to be
outside the polling station.
No police was manhandled.
Nobody was all the IBC officials, the POs, the deputy POs, the clerk, the turning offs are perfect. Our issue is the commissioners.
Let's talk about it. Would be a litmus test for the commission. Kenyans come out to protect the vote, perhaps due to that deficit of trust. So as
no, they cannot deliver free and fair election. Kenyans will have to come in. The IBC failed to protect the Zakaria Gakunya Mukora from Huhoine, Rurie Ward. Said my deepest condolences to the and friends. I'll be going tomorrow to Olkalau to bury these two. The community, I have said the families should not put a shilling on the dignity of the community. IBC up to today has not condemned these two deaths. The voter suppression that was done by comment to Olkalau, IBC has not condemned. There was violence for 6 hours by these rogue police officers. Up to now, IBC has not condemned it. There was wanton bribery for 3 IBC never condemned this bribery, never took action against cabinet. Yeah, the IB commissioners are on the side of William Ruto. But the beauty of it is that the election officials, they conducted a very free and suppression. Many people from 1,000 were denied the right to vote because of violence by police who are armed and hooded. The IBC did not do their job to make sure they have made sufficient security arrangements. The other way around, as rogue police officers from Sierra Squad and others terrorize the people of Olkalau, asked the county commissioner of Nyandarua, tear gas police officers who are in uniform, and made hell. Descendants and remnants of Mau Mau. This election would have been stolen. I can tell you, I can tell you that the only conducted and a winner announced. Despite the voter suppression, 20,000 people were denied an opportunity to vote. The only reason why this election took place was the people of Olkalau, men and women and young people, are remnants and descendants of the Mau Mau. And they had tear gas. The members of took pangas, they took axes. And but I'm asking, it's a recipe for disaster because the violence in Olkalau was not among the people of Olkalau fighting each other. It was state-sponsored.
And I know the right to self-defense is okay, but
the right to, you know, people, where we have reached, and that's why I'm saying, I want to tell William Ruto and Kipchumba Murkomen, they are preparing this country for anarchy. When policemen who are paid by taxpayers, who are having guns bought by public money, who are having tear gas bought by public money, descend upon innocent voters, beat them and kill them, and rape women, policemen who are employed by the public, who are paid by the public. William Ruto and Kipchumba Murkomen are setting the stage for anarchy in this country. Because if people decide, the way the people of Olkalau decided, that nobody will steal your vote, we have what you call the state of nature. Anarchy, where people take the law into their own hands. And what is very sad, Rogers, up to now, 7 days, nobody has been arrested. 2 people are dead. We are burying them tomorrow. Kipchumba Murkomen asked me for evidence. He can come and see the caskets. If he wants us to open to confirm their dead bodies, we will. He was asking why we are saying women have been raped, why they have not gone to police. How do women who have been raped, how do girls who have been defiled by police go to police to report police? And you don't bother. Okay. What they have done, they have gone to private hospitals, they have been treated and gone home. Because how do you report police to police? As we speak today, there is evidence that the vehicles that brought the armed goons belong to the Kiambaa Member of Parliament, John Kawanjiku. Today he has not been arrested. The policemen who caused mayhem in Olkalau, some senior police officers have called me, and they are very disgusted that the National Police Service have been transformed into a criminal gang by the CS called Kipchumba Murkomen. And they are frustrated. They are frustrated because when they went to Kiganjo, when they went to Embakasi, they were trained to protect Kenyans. Yeah. They were never trained to attack Kenyans. But Murkomen has transformed the National Police Service into a militia. As we speak, because these officers who have been attacking people, They are the ones who attacked the church in Wetima, ACK. I took the evidence to the IG, their photographs and their names and videos. Instead of being prosecuted or promoted and given more responsibilities and given more sophisticated weapons, they were deployed in Olokalao. The photographs are there, the videos are there. Now that they have been exposed, instead of being arrested and prosecuted, very senior police officers have called me. They have actually been transferred. One miner who is bodyguard to Bete Miner has been taken to Kilifi. One Malonga has been taken to Bomet. One Kyoko has been taken to Maba Police. One Murangeri has been taken to Turkana. One Meguna has been taken to Kwale. The senior police officers are asking, this is our country. How did we reach here? That the police who are supposed to protect the people of Kenya, the police who are paid by the public to protect them, the arms that they carry have been bought through taxpayers' money to protect the people of Kenya. Murkomen has created a militia within the National Police Service to harm the people of Kenya. As we speak, 2 people are dead. Not a statement from the National Police Service about these 2 deaths. Women have been raped. These people created mayhem. They had 4 platoons of GSU. They had 4 platoons of ASTU. They had 1,000 uniformed police officers, but they were helpless because this criminal gang had been sent there by Murkomen to cause mayhem. The police are saying, please, remove this government from power next year. In fact, most of the information that I have is from the police. They are embarrassed. They are asking, how come we were trained to protect the people of Kenya? We are paid to protect the people of Kenya. How can it be Murkomen has deployed us to hurt Kenyans, to kill Kenyans, to rape women, to maim innocent people, to disrupt the election? Now these people have been transferred, and they have only been transferred because they have been exposed. I am told as we speak, Murkomen has picked a new squad. It has been taken to a training base in Moyale to come and take over from what this group was doing. So what we saw in Olokala, we have seen nothing. We have not seen the last of it. And I can tell you from where I sit, if Kipchumba Murkomen will be the CS Interior as we go towards the election, there will be civil war in this country. There will be anarchy. Because now people know. You see, why people defended Olokala, they saw it in Bere. What people have seen in Olokala, Rogers, you want to tell me there are Kenyans who are going to wait and expect William Ruto to steal the election? And you know this was an election of one candidate. There will be presidential candidates. There will be people defending the votes of Gachagua. There will be people defending the votes of the governor. There will be people defending the votes of the senator. There will be people defending the votes of the member of the National Assembly. There will be people defending the MC. And there are multiple candidates. We have 50, 60 aspirants in candidates in one polling station. All of them will mobilize to protect their vote from Ruto, Murkomen, and goons.
And I'd like us to hear...
They arm them. Let me tell you, when police come armed with the guns, do you expect wananchi to go and face them with the bare hands? Because we are saying the right to self-defense is there in our laws. And because William Ruto has made and coordination of state terror, the people of Kenya will get prepared.
And I think the logical question would be how to avoid such a scenario.
How to avoid such
just
scenario?
Hold on, briefly, because I'd like us to hear from lastly mentioned, President William Ruto directed security agencies to intensify operations against goons and organized criminal groups across Kenya. Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen, I think it was just this Sunday, said DCI is into those armed, masked individuals. Just listen, and then we'll get the right of reply, briefly.
Every sector of society, the business leaders, religious leaders, political leaders, have all agreed that having lawlessness, goons and all these other characters, criminals, should be stopped. Now that we have a consensus, our security agencies must do their job. Within the law, they must do their job and they must stop criminality.
Kulikuwa na watu walionekana huko Olkalau, walikuwa wanaleta vurugu, walikuwa nani? Mimi nataka nitangaze kwa taifa ya kwamba DCI wa taifa la Kenya, Director of Criminal Investigations, tayari amefungua faili ya uchunguzi kujua kwamba ni watu hawa ni wagani, walifanya makosa gani, na waliumiza watu gani, na kwa nini walikuwa pale, ili wachukuliwe hatua ya sheria. Mwisho watakapomaliza, ule DPP atapelekewa file na hawa watachukuliwa hatua ya kisheria. Mimi nataka kuwaomba Wakenya, kuliko tu kusema kwa mdomo, mtu yoyote mwenye ako na habari aende kwa DCI office karibu, apeane habari hiyo.
Okay, so using Goonism, rogue police officers as a response to political competition, will it stop after the president's marching orders? Is there goodwill to deal with this issue before we slide into anarchy?
It will not stop because William Ruto is being deceptive. The challenge of Kenya is not goons. It's rogue police officers under Murkomen. The way to stop lawlessness is to sack Murkomen because he is the cause. These are police officers who are there. They are under him. So he is asking us to give him what information. Instead of arresting them, the way is one. So you are just transferring a problem.
So NPS is not independent.
In the prosecution of 12 police officers, 2 members of minor. William Ruto stopped that prosecution. He is actually the problem. John Jogona Kawanjiko is an ally of President William Ruto. All those police killer squads that were in Olkalau, all of them, one group was Ada Charles Karondo, the chairman of Communications Authority, who wants to oppose Dede Nyoro in Kiharu. The other one was Ada Dennis Itumbe. The other group was Ada Betty Maina and Eric Wamombi. These officers are known by name. Their photographs are there. The videos are there. So Murkomen is asking people to report what? When William says that it has been agreed we stop lawlessness, he is a problem because the man he has appointed as CS Interior is the one who fed these goons. He is the one who was funding the police officers in Olkalau. They were staying in a hotel called Royal Garden. He is the one who was paying the bills. They had Prados. State of the art. You saw the Prados.
We've documented them.
Yes, they are documented.
Yes.
So these two men, William Ruto and Kipchumba Murkomen, thinks Kenyans are fools. You know the way William Ruto deceived the people of Kenya in 2022? He still thinks Kenyans are there. He used to say that there is a shortage of fools in the country. I want to remind him, there are no fools in this country. The problem of insecurity in this country is being caused by government itself. And even goons have become very embodied because they work hand in hand with the police. In Olkalau, we had police goons who had arms, and we had the ordinary goons. The ordinary goons were being protected by the police, and we were all working together. The only problem that is there, and William Ruto must know, and Murkomen, when you grow criminal gangs, you like in Haiti, because these goons you brought in Olkalau for the by-election, now that it is over, you paid them for those days, they must continue eating. That is why you saw goons stop vehicles on Thika Road for 2 hours and steal from people valuables, because they have been working with the police, so they are embodied. Mabau Road stuck after Uhuru Kenyatta left is nothing. Nothing is going on. A few things here and there, even like now the road they had started in Olkalau near Ngorika. After the election, the equipment left. And it's that way. Even the transformers in Olokalawa were brought from Bere. They had been put in Bere, they were removed and brought in Bere. It is true the president will be judged by his record. It's true. He will be judged his record. Killing Gen Zs, he'll be judged. Abductions, he'll be judged. Goonism, he'll be judged. Sending wrong police officers to kill people, he'll be judged. Destroying free primary education bequeathed to this country by Mwai Kibaki, he'll be judged. Destroying Leader Mama bequeathed to this country by Uhuru Kenyatta, he'll be judged. The issue of SHA that is not working after destroying a good program of NHIF, he'll be judged. HELB was working, university finance. Even now he's trying to con students that he has directed they be given free education. When there is no mechanism, the budget has already been passed, my brother. There is no financial provision in the budget. It's just another lie. And you know, this man lies without blinking. And he doesn't know that you lie to people today. Tomorrow they call you out. When you say there will be free primary education, the budget for his last budget has already been approved by the National Assembly. There is no provision for free university education. It's a lie. He'll be judged on the lies he has given to the people of Kenya. He will be judged on deception. He will be judged on conning Kenyans when they can see. He will be judged on tribalism. He has given all the major parastatals to his kinsmen. He will be judged on grabbing land. So when he says that people should be judged by their record, it is true. We agree. We'll be giving the people of Kenya his record. Very long record about what he has done against the people of Kenya. How he found institutions that were working, they are all destroyed. How he has undermined the National Police Service. How he has replaced police with the goons. How he has undermined the democratic space. How he killed young people whose crime was only saying they should be heard. How he said people should be shot in the leg. Okay. His activities that he needs to be judged on is a long list.
So Gachagua, there's no good that this administration has
nothing
done. Aren't you looking at the glass half empty?
He was bequeathed a safe country by Uhuru Kenyatta. It had economic challenges, yes, but there was no goonism. People were free to do what they want. This was a country that was safe. Police were protecting people. Police were not attacking people. Alcohol, illicit brews. You know, they are killing people. This is something that I had successfully done. I had wiped out almost 80% of illicit alcohol. Okay. He has brought it back. His record is long and it's true. I agree with you. Leaders will be judged by their public record. We will be giving a list of all the things that you have done, and then the people of Kenya can judge.
Speaking of leaders being judged by their public record, you made some public sentiments not too long ago in respect to foreign or international tourists, and you gave them a caution in terms of coming to Kenya due to this Goonism issue. Your message was loud and clear. We've seen Canada perhaps give a travel disclaimer for their nationals who are set to come to Kenya. But your words seem to have irked a couple of leaders, especially those it meant borders on economic sabotage. Let's listen in.
When you touch our uchumi, we will touch you personally. Yes. Because we can't employ the hundreds of thousands or millions of the young people that work in the coastal line, wakifutwa kazi. Or you have now seen the biggest standalone investment is earmarked for Lamu.
The tourism sector is a whole ecosystem. Within tourism, you get a tax. The international community not to visit Kenya. And this is somebody who wants to lead Kenya. Then we now know that he cannot be able to lead this country. We want to condemn his remarks in the strongest terms possible.
The major sources of income for this particular region and for the country in general to be denied, and that is an element of tourism, is a very, very saddening. You know, when you come up with issues that are so hatred in nature, that by killing the economy of this region.
Nichukue fursa hii kwa niaba ya wenzangu magavana, viongozi hao wote, kulani matamshi ya jana ya kiongozi wa DCP. Yeye anakataza watalii wakuje Kenya na anakataza uchumi ama wawekezaji kuja Kenya. Ukisema watalii wasije Kenya, wanaathiri pwani, Kwale, Taita, Mombasa, Kilifi, Tana River, Lamu. Tunategemea utalii. Alafu nataka kuzunguka hii pwani, wewe utafuta biashara nyingine, kwa sababu sisi kama viongozi tutaruhusu. Sisi tunategemea utalii.
All right, the leaders have spoken. Right to reply. Why are you pushing for economic sabotage?
4 things. I've heard one of those characters there talking about young people and how their livelihood is being threatened. Yet, everybody knows he has destroyed young people in the coast region by selling hard drugs and making sure that young people are zombies. For the longest, everybody knows the role he has played as a drug baron, and he sits in cabinet. It's a shame. Number 2, tourism is not just in the coast. It is everywhere. My family owns tourist hotels. I can never do anything to hurt business. I'm a very patriotic Kenyan. But I'm also a truthful and a cautious leader. I don't know how old you are. In the 80s, there was a girl called Julie Ward. Julie Ward was a British tourist, and she was killed in the Masai Mara. And she disappeared, and her body was found dismembered. It destroyed our tourism for 10 years. All tourists across the world, all the international media, all the big dailies, the international papers put the name of Kenya as a place that is dangerous for tourists to come. It took us 10 years to get back our tourism. I want to be president next year. Tourism is extremely important to this country. It's actually number 2 foreign exchange earner. We need a hard currency. Tourism must be protected because it's very, very important. Today, the goons in Nairobi, the goons on Narok Road, the goons in Mombasa, if they killed 2-3 tourists, it will kill tourism for the next 20 years. We will never recover. I am a leader who believes we would rather go slow for a year and protect our tourism. And if the way things are going on in this country, where goons have been let loose by government, they are all over. If Kenyans are not safe, how safe are the tourists? If Kenyans are not safe, how safe are the investors? The other day here in Carnival, there was a workshop of some Chinese investors. Goons descended upon them, took away their phones, took away their money, took away their jewelry, and they were in shock. I'm just exercising caution. Ordinarily, if there were goons, I would have urged the government to stop them, not to kill tourism. But since it's the government that has unleashed the goons against the people of Kenya, I cannot appeal to the same government to stop goonism. All I can do is to caution potential victims of goonism that would have a very serious repercussion to our tourism and our investment. So I am a leader who is being very cautious, saying, hey, there are goons all over. They are wreaking havoc. I've just told you what happened in Thika Road. In Outer Ring, every Friday, the goons line up along the road and steal valuable from Kenyans for 3 hours, and police cannot touch them because they work together. So if they come and accost tourists on their way to the airport, and this matter is reported to the countries of origin, to the international press, and the world decides that Kenya is not safe, yeah, what happens? Canada issued a travel advisory on 13th. I spoke on 19th because they were saying what I'm saying. It's not me. Canada has not spoken after I've spoken. Canada has issued a travel advisory to Canadians to say Kenya is not safe, which is what I'm saying. And these tribal adversaries will come. Because all these people, they live here. They have looked at the newspaper. If you looked at the clip on NTV on the attack in Olkalau, these foreigners are saying it's not that live in a vacuum. What I am saying today is what they'll be saying tomorrow. So by me issuing such a strong statement, ordinarily, if President William Ruto had any intention of stabilizing this country to normalcy, because it's not a normal country anymore, we are almost going to hate way. He would listen to my statement and know there's danger. I am a patriotic Kenyan, I love my country. I've told you I'm in the tourism industry myself. I cannot hurt business that I practice, but I'm cautious that if a tourist is attacked by these goons, if an investor is attacked, it could destroy our tourism for 20 years. I would rather we have a challenge for 1 year. We get rid of this administration. The first thing we do, we deal with goons. We dismantle these goons, it will take almost 6 months. We also wind out rogue police officers. We'll have radical surgery of the National Police Service. And by the way, let me put our police officers on notice. We have started very serious documentation. All those people who attacked us in Wetima, we have their record and what they did. When William Ruto is gone home, they'll have their day in court. All those people who attacked people in Olokarau, those who killed those people we are going to bury tomorrow, they'll have their day in court. All commanders, station commanders, and division commanders who allow goons to attack people and they don't take any action, we are documenting. So that, you know, the good thing is criminal acts have no time limit. Even 5 years, 10 years, you'll have your day in court. I want to put on notice rogue officers. And they are just like 5%. I can tell you 95% of officers in the National Police Service are very professional, they are very patriotic Kenyans, they are very disciplined, and they are doing the right thing, but they are being intimidated by Umukomen and Raymond Omolo. But those rogue police officers who agree to be misused, those who killed those 2 young men in Olkalau, you will face murder charges. And you listen to the OCS of Central Police Station. Today, he's charged with the murder in court. He took instructions from the DIG, but they were not written. I want to appeal to our police officers. I was a man in uniform. I want to give you free advice. If you ask by your superiors to break the law, refuse. If they insist, ask them to give you instruction in writing, either through a letter or a signal or a WhatsApp message, and you preserve it. I want to ask our police officers to agree to use 5 documents in the course of their duty. The Criminal Procedure Code Cap 75, the Evidence Act Cap 8, and of course the service standing orders that guide day-to-day police operations.
And where's the Independent Policing Oversight Authority?
Now that is the other issue.
In fact, it's
good you have raised that issue. The Independent Police Oversight Authority is supposed to investigate police excesses. We have been attacked several times. We have gone to them, no action. In fact, this one of Central Police Station is the only issue they have taken seriously, and we want to commend them. But Mukomen had connived with the head of public service, Felix Kosgei, and actually put IPOA under the Ministry of Interior to supervise how do you get an independent body that is supposed to oversight the police and put it under Interior.
The move was annulled by the courts.
Yeah, but you can see how mischievous Mukomen is, because he knows he is misusing the National Police Service. And the officers are saying, no, we are unable to carry out some of these covert operations against the law, against the people of Kenya, because we have IPOA, it can take us to court. Then Mukomen says, no, don't worry. That IPOA, I'll bring it under my control. And I want to thank our courts for saying no. IPOA is an independent constitutional commission that must operate independently and oversight the National Police Service. So this Mukomen is a very mischievous character.
So how will you
he's one of the greatest mistakes that has ever happened in this country.
How will you strengthen this IPOA? Because independent is just
no, even now, even the people in that IPOA, some of them, like the vice chairman, is very close to William Ruto. She's from Kitale. She's called Wanjiku. They are very close. So he cannot be independent. He picked his friends to be in the IPOA. So what we'll do, my brother Rogers, next year, God being gracious and giving us an opportunity to form the next government through the acceptance of the people of Kenya, we intend to strengthen constitutional commissions and independent offices and really allow those offices to function. The IG is supposed to be independent. The minister should only comment on matter policy. Murkomen is commenting on all matters including operation. That is not his work. He is supposed to make sure they have proper funding. He's supposed to make sure they have developed the right policies in terms of training, in terms of mechanization of equipment, in terms of relating with other agencies. That is his role. But Murkomen every day is commenting on police operation. Who should be arrested? Who has been arrested? I don't know who did what. Or can you bring evidence? That is not the work of CS Interior. The National Police Service is supposed to be an independent office to operate independently. IPOA is an independent constitutional office. We would want when we form government next year. That's how Mike Kibaki succeeded. I really admire President Mike Kibaki. He let everybody be. He let ministers work. He let PSs work. He allowed independent bodies to work. He did not capture parliament. He did not capture the judiciary. He did not capture oversight bodies. He allowed and that is how we achieved very serious economic development. That is how we achieved, growth, economic growth. That is how there was money in circulation in the country. Okay. I would want God being gracious to me and my colleagues. Once we form government next year, we would like to take this country back, at least to where Mike Kibaki left us.
I was waiting to hear about issues to do with understaffing, underfunding, because IPOA is really struggling with it. But let's see if or rather...
they cannot attract funding without working. If they did several cases and people can see they are really oversighting the police, then they can advance a case for funding. Why would anybody want to put money into IPOA? There is nothing they are doing. When our leaders, Senator John Methu and others were attacked in Kegumo, when I was away in the United States, and they even went to IPOA, they took the vehicles showing the bullet holes, they actually took the cartridges, they took the names of the people who attacked them. It's now 1 year. Nothing has ever been heard about it. It's a toothless body. It's of no use to anybody. To make matter worse, to give the officers comfort, to unleash terror on the people of Kenya, that nobody is oversighting them. That is why Kipchumba Murkomen had secretly connived with the Felix Kosgei and taken it to Interior. I'm happy the courts have reversed that position.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a blue code of silence. So much to talk about that. But let's shift focus back to politics, because I'd like your take on the Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki. You have been verbally attacking him, holding no buzz, pulling no punches. I think you even referred to him as Mr. Yes Sir, Mr. Soprano, all that. But just recently, we heard you on this week Monday, if I'm not wrong, ordering for political ceasefire against Professor Kithure Kindiki. We have two sentiments, both from you, before when political heat was turned up, and on Monday, as I've said. So we just want to compare the two and why the change of heart. Let's listen in.
Unajua huyu Kasongo anatubeba upala kule kwao, anapeleka empowerment, vijana wanapewa matatu, ndio wengine wanapewa bodaboda, wengine wanapewa posho mill, wengine wanapewa power stone. Hapa kwetu anapatia mtu ya Soprano alete maharagwe. Ni ujinga si ujinga? Ni ujinga si ujinga? Wewe mtu ya Soprano bwana tumiwa na Kasongo vibaya.
Wameanza kumtesa huyu Kindiki hapo, kumkosea heshima. So wewe professor, you are our son. I want to tell you because you are our son. Ukipata shida hapo mbele, because utapata. Welcome back home.
All right, two questions, I think, from those two clips. Number one, you've ordered a ceasefire.
He is still a flower girl, and but that does not change the fact that he's our son. I say two things. One, I noted that when he was interior, despite being Ruto's flower girl, he never sent goons and police to fight his kinsmen the way Murkomen is doing. I noted that, at least, even as his Mr. Sir, he didn't agree to be used by Ruto to fight his own kinsmen. Of course, when I talked that, people said, no, but he killed Gen Zs, which is true. But I said, in matters goonism, he didn't do what Murkomen is doing. Number two, the previous day, he issued a statement to say that the mountain is...
Just hold. So the fact that Gen Zs were killed under his reign is okay.
No,
just that he didn't send to kill his
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying people reminded me that much as he did not send goons, you know, we were discussing goonism. I said Murkomen has reigned terror on this region, and give credit to Kindiki, at least during his time, he did not send goons here to attack people. Then the people told me, but he killed Gen Z. I said, yeah. Then I said, there's a statement he has said that I agree with him. I have been opposed to William Ruto dividing the mountain. He has been using him and Roko to divide Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West. So the statement he issued the previous day, he seemed to have changed his mind that it is not good to divide the mountain. And I said, what you have done, Prof, is good. You have started making peace with your people. And I think why he has started making peace with his people is because Ruto has started fighting him. If you listen today, Ruto has released his attack dogs on him. There's a fellow called GK Karaoke, is MP for Dia. He has been promised to be running with. He has started attacking him. Njuguna Kawanjiko was attacking him today. So I say in our community, normally what happens? Because